So, a bit of time has passed between this recording and the last recording, where I think I used the Mewtwo or the Zygarde teams, I think. But this is a little bit later. This is right around the time of the International. So I have a bit more of an idea of what people are going to start using more in Moon, because I've seen some of the teams that have been doing well. Xerneas Lunala is doing well, so that does make me want to go back to my XY team, because this XY team had such a good matchup against the Ashton 6 at least. It was like a 95-5 matchup in my favour. And there was only a few things that could go wrong, like evasiveness on Smeargle. But the Z-move on Lunala has changed things from this, because I was able to survive a Moongeist Beam with Metagross, it was fine. But then, now that they have Z Moongeist Beam, that does shift the matchup. But the XL team that's doing really well is slightly different. Like, it's got Serena and Stack Attacker, and that changes things quite a bit, because Stack Attack was always one of the problems for this team. Like, I have Hammer Arm and Close Combat, but Hammer Arm doesn't do enough. Close Combat does, but if they're in Trick Room, they're just going to Rock Slide the Staraptor. One of the reasons why I had Intimidate over Reckless, because I did originally have Reckless when I put it on for bigger Brave Birds, and no clashing with Foul Plays, was intimidating Stack Attackers as well, because then it could live the Rock Slides. But I think I would have to shift from this team, and I've had ideas. So like, you can see two teams here. Like these are the two, at least maybe full teams, but maybe skeletons of what I would probably bring to cans now, because I didn't really like Mewtwo. Zygarde was fine, but Swagger can miss, and Xerneas is everywhere now. So I think going back to the two cores, like I'm good. I'm good with XY. I'm good with Blue Moon. So I think it is wise to focus on these two cores. And I've had like an idea for XY and an idea for Blue Moon as well. Like, look, wait, you can obviously see what they are. But with the introduction of Z moves, a few things have changed. Like, if you see, my available in Sun and Moon was Black Glasses with some nice bulk. This attack was to Oko-Lely, and then just a little bit more, because I noticed I was getting leaving 1 HP Pokemon on 1 HP a little bit too often, so I just upped it from, I think it was 44 to 84. But with the introduction of Z moves, you can't just knock off the Lunala and then just expect to KO it. Because if I actually get up the calc here, and I'll put in my old spreads attack as well. 84 Black Glasses. Although I actually used, I put Black Glasses here, didn't I? Yeah, that's wrong. I used Dread Plate. Makes no difference, but I used Dread Plate. Yeah, it's already defaulted to that. So if you see here, knockoff used to be, let's just give it an air balloon. Knockoff used to be like absolutely guaranteed, even if they had like super bulk. Well, I guess not super bulk, but any reasonable bulk. But now with the Z moves, knockoff doesn't get it anymore. Even with max attack, because you do want to outspeed the Lunalas, obviously. Because all Lunalas are timid now, so you do need to be jolly available, unless you're AV. But if you're the Black Glasses set, you should outspeed the Lunalas. Like, you can see here that Sucker Punch is actually enough. But if you Sucker Punch them as they Tailwind or they Psych Up or whatever, then that's not ideal. You want to be able to just outspeed and Oko them without the threat of them. Because if they switch as well, then your Sucker Punch is wasted, whereas if they switch, you still get a knockoff. So this isn't ideal. So what I've shifted to is now Life Orb, because if you see here, this is a wonderful calc. Put the 4 HP on Lunala as well, and then it just becomes lovely. I love it when it's like 100 min rather than 104. Like, even though that does like technically more damage, that is just glorious. I love the exact 100. So yeah, I've shifted to Life Orb now with this new available. And I'm testing out a much bulkier spread on my Xerneas, because like bulky Xerneas became a thing at the end of 16. It was pretty much after UK Nationals, which was like May, and we're in February at the moment, so No one's really trying out Super Bulk Xerneas. I mean, this isn't Super Bulk Xerneas, because I am still modest with reasonable special attack investment. Like, the Xerneas got top 5, I'm becoming a Spaniard, top 8 at Worlds, was Bold, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to trade around Bold. But this can take 2 Moonblasts from other Xerneas, because you run Timid Max to like at least speed tie and try and win the mirror that way by getting the 2 Moonblasts onto the Xerneas before they get onto you. But the bulky Xerneas lets you still 2-shot them with your Moonblast, but then you take their Moonblast. So even though they get their 2 Moonblasts first, you get the 2 Moonblasts back against them. Like, it does open you up to special attack drops, but then the general bulk can save you a lot as well. So I'm just going to be testing that out. Like, I did run slightly fast. I've ran faster than Venusaur before, because I thought that it was necessary to outspeed Venusaur, but I don't think it's as necessary now with a slightly new version of the team. So the idea is I've had like Salazzle and Superior just amazing. I don't really want to change that, although I feel like Superior could change and it could improve the team if I find the right change for it, but Superior's still lovely. But these are the 2 that I'm thinking of. I'd considered Latias over Staraptor before, but because it was supposed to be like good against Amoonguss, but before Z moves, like they would all have Piappa Berry as well. Latias wasn't going to be that great against Amoonguss because it couldn't one-shot it. It would just Psy Shock. If they were Piappa Berry, they would take nothing and then spoil you. Although I was safety goggles on that version of Latias, so it wasn't that important, but then they could still just spoil your partner. But with the introduction of Psyche Z, or with Z moves, so it can have Psyche Z, and the fact that Amoonguss seemed to be shifting away from Piappa. Like, the Rocky Helmet was doing really well in Oceania. Ockerberry seems to be picking up as well, some Cobra Berries as well. I don't think Piappa is as common, so I think that using Psyche now to KO Amoonguss is a good idea, and I'm pretty sure that the Spatak I put in was to Oko that Amoonguss with, and it has to be Psychic, because if you see Z Psyshock is weaker than Z Psychic, so yeah, because if you have max Spatak, but then the Z Psyshock will probably still get it, but if you have Z Psychic instead, this lets you go down to less Spatak, so you can have more bulk. Just how I got that spread. And I've been trying to fit Helping Hand on the team somewhere. Like, I really like Helping Hand. Helping Hand could go over Encore, but Encore just makes the Salazzle Xerneas into Incineroar Xerneas matchup just so easy. So I've been thinking about Helping Hand as well. Latias resists Kyogre, which is one of the bigger issues if that gets into position against me. To be able to Water Spout, gets Tailwinds so that I can match Tailwinds as well, and then Icy Winds to get the advantage when I match Tailwinds. So I think Latias makes sense. And then Excadrill, one of the big things that this team does struggle against is Stack Attacker. I say this team, I mean like all of the iterations of my Sun and Moon XY. Excadrill can easily one-shot it, especially with Choice Band. That's one of the things I was thinking of as well. It doesn't have to be Choice Band, that's just one of the theories. I've looked at Assault Vest Excadrill, and I've looked at Groundium Excadrill as well. I would have both Groundium and Psychium. I'd be fine with that, because I want to say they, like, Excadrill and Latias come to different matchups, but I haven't actually worked out what matchups they come to yet. This is just in the theory stage. Needs to be Sand Rush as well, so that I don't Mold Breaker Earthquake my own Latias. And the only things that I'd be Mold Breakering are like really I guess Shedinja, but I can Rock Slide Shedinja. There's not really any other Levitate mons in the format. Like Cresselia isn't a thing at the moment, so this is kind of like a Cresselia as well, because I did like the Modest Max Cresselia, and if we have a look or compare Modest Max, only 139 special attack with Psychic, whereas even with Timid Latias, you have 150, so 11 points more, so the Psychic is even stronger, and then there's the Shattered Psychic potential as well. That is one of the big things. I need to work out if Excadrill is good enough on its own to be able to beat Stack Attackers, whether I should run Choice Band, because Choice Band lets you have some nice bulk, What did it let me do? I think this was survive Assault Vest Sacred Sword from Kartana's. It's too much defense investment for Sash Sacred Sword. And what did the special defense, I think, took 2+2 Dazzling Gleams. I think that was what I was going for those two calcs on defense and special defense. Because, again, when I was looking at Extra Drill, because when I'm using this team and their opposing Xerneas gets set up for relatively free, that can be an issue. But if we look, Ironhead with a Life Orb can KO Xerneas, but Life Orb is now unavailable. And if I have Life Orb, then I've got no bulk on this Excadrill as well. So if I run Choice Band, then that lets me have a lot less attack investment, which still gets the KO on Xerneas, and then lets me have this extra bulk. So I've been looking at, like I said, the 3 items, like the Choice Band. I'd have the same spread if I was Groundium as well, because it still survives the AV Secret Sword and the +2. Is it +2 Dazzling Gleams, right? Yeah, 2% chance. But then they can be modest, and then that changes actually significantly, like to 72. But let's just hope they're not modest. Yeah, and AV would be slightly different because one of the things I was looking at, because Excadrill would come to the Lunala Xerneas matchups, and it can't survive the Menacing Moonrace Maelstrom without an AV. But then I would lose a lot of the power, or at least OHKOing power on Xerneas. And another thing is, without the Choice Band, I run Stomping Tantrum over Drill Run for accuracy. Like Drill Run, even Drill Run is probably not going to KO the Stack Attacker. Maybe if they're lonely. Another look if they're lonely yet. Then it probably will, but almost all Stack Attackers aren't lonely, so you can't expect that. If I am AV, I would want... yeah, if I was AV, I could be Adamant Max. I want Max Speed because it outspeeds Smeagol by 1. And because it's going to be coming to the XL matchups, they almost always have Smeagol's now. So I do need to outspeed Smeagol's with the Excadrill. But then that would leave me with, like, literally, like, that as the AV spread. Which I guess I could look at. Does that would survive the Menacing Moonrace Maelstrom. Well, not even completely guaranteed. That would be one of the downsides from shifting from Choice Band. Like Groundium, I do need to work out whether I don't think I want AV. I think I want Choice Band or Groundium, not Steelium, because Stack Attack, like it's mainly to beat Stack Attackers. It's there for Xerneas as well, but Stack Attacker is harder than Xerneas is to beat with the rest of the team. So we have a look at Incineroar as well. Yeah, so like -1 Earthquake would still 2-shot Incineroar. But then, if we have a look at the Choice Band, if I get Excadrill in against Incineroar, without when they haven't intimidated me, Choice Band would still get them. Like Groundium would obviously still get them as well, but get them at -1 as well. So it is something I have to work out. I don't have too long to work out. I have like a week now to work it out. Because I think I would want Excadrill. Like Latias, I think, and I hate to say it, but I think Latias and Superior are replaceable. Like I have a couple of ideas of what could be in Superior's place. Like an AV Tapu Bulu, because I'm not AV on Metagross and won't be on Excadrill. AV Bulu could be reasonable over this, because then they get the Sucker Punch potential over Lele's and switch-ins like that. Also Scarf Kartana, because Scarf Kyogre can be annoying. Like I've got like Sucker Punch does like 60% to Kyogres now, but if they have Serena, like what my tactic, because if you have a look at this team again, it does look somewhat weak to Serena Kyogre, because like, I wouldn't be able to survive any Helping Hand Water Spouts. I have no way of stopping. Well, I guess Superior is the only one that can, but then something has to take it. things are in range of Feint Water Spout as well. So the tactic I had was make a Velhul live Feint plus Water Spout. That's what the bulk did. Lead Superior Velhul and then knock off Glare the Kyogres, so that I either trade like a Helping Hand Ice Beam into Superior means that I knock off their Choice Scarf. If they Helping Hand Water Spout, then they KO the Velhul, but then they're glared and I get a free Amansi with the Xerneas next turn. So like I had to flowchart it like that, and that was my only real way of beating Serena Kyogre with this team, but they would always lead Serena Kyogre against me, which was quite funny. So it somewhat worked out. Because I was like, I thought like 2 turns ahead for the Serena Kyogre matchup, but then if we have a look at this team, because I've shifted to Life Orb on a Velhul now, I think I had a look, and actually this was doable because the knockoff still got Lunalas, but right, 93% of the time that is, I think. But now I don't have the extra bulk to be able to live Feint plus Water Spout. So maybe I would need to lead Superior and a Velhul and protect Glare. Because most people would go for Helping Hand over Feint. Like the majority of the time, it would be Helping Hand over Feint. So I should probably... And, was it Luke's Serena that's in the International? He doesn't have Feint on his Serena, so I guess not all of them will. If Luke wins, that'll make this lead somewhat safer against Serena, because they may not run Feint anymore, but Edu doesn't run Helping Hand, so then it's a weird toss-up between them. But then I guess the Latias gives me some way of beating Serena Kyogre now, because I can lead that in Tailwind. So I guess that wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, this is like my idea at the moment for the XY team. I also had this idea for the Kyogre Lunala. So if you saw on stream, I think it was like round 5, Malcolm McKellar, my friend from Australia, he used somewhat this team. He had Aerodactyl and Alolan Raichu over Kartana and Floatzel. But because I had practiced with him, and one of the big things that stood out for me was this Tapu Koko. He would run Adamant Life Orb Wild Charge, and it was doing so much damage, and the Life Orb Brave Bird can actually OHKO Amoonguss a lot of the time, like the standard only Flare Blitz surviving Amoonguss. Adamant, Life Orb, Brave Bird. What am I missing? Oh, they have Attack Investment. Yeah, so see, if you see, like, this is the only Incineroar Flare Blitz living, and rest in Spadef, and that's 87% chance to KO, which is like really nice. When I was practicing against him and I led Amoonguss and then it just dropped turn 1 to the Brave Bird, I was super intrigued by it. So I'd been thinking about this before. Like he'd had the Lunala, he had Psyshock over Icy Winds. That was just another theory of mine that I put here. Specs Kyogre, he had Scarflale as well, but then he had Aerodactyl and Alolan Raichu, and I was just looking at the team, and I was thinking, because I am somewhat used to Kyogre Lunala as well, I was just having a look at the teams. I think I was coming up with some other things. I think I had like, well, I definitely did have Lucario, I think it was Nihilego over these two at one point, so I was just thinking about other matchups and how I could make it suit me a little bit more. Because I used Lucario over Floatzel in my second round of MPA. So I did have that at one point, and I can't remember why. I think I was like, this is going to sound weird as the initial start for thinking about Floatzel, but it was like, oh, I need something for Ludicolos. This is not a Ludicolo counter by any means, but I was like, okay, I need a Ludicolo counter. Is there any other Swift Swimmers that could be good against Ludicolo? And obviously Floatzel is not the one. Like, Quillfish is the one. Quillfish is the Ludicolo counter. But I just saw Floatzel, and then when I'll do it on a separate one so I don't mess up with the so I do wish I'd originally recorded when I was building, but I was just theorying just separately. A lot of the times I'm theorying just while I'm out and about as well. I'm still thinking about Pokemon stuff, so I have ideas while I'm out, not able to record. But I was looking at the Swift Swimmers, and then it was just like, I think I usually put things in order of speed. Because I put things in order of speed, and it was like, okay, I need things that outspeed Ludicolo if I'm going to have a Ludicolo counter. But then I just put it in order, looked at Floatzel, and then it was just like an immediate, I can just run Soak. Like that's literally how it went. I was just looking at the Swift Swimmers, just click speed, and like obviously Quillfish is the one to beat Ludicolo's, but I just saw Floatzel, and then just like because I was thinking about this team, something in my brain just went, Floatzel outspeeds Element Tapu Koko. Life Orb Wild Charge is super strong, so I can lead Floatzel without Rain, still outspeed the Koko, and go for Soak Wild Charges. And then I started looking at Floatzel a bit more, and there's actually some really cool things it can do. I'll show you just this first calc. So like obviously the there's the Floatzel. I put Kartana as well on the team over the air. Like I guess this is the over the air Raichu, but I put Kartana on as well to have 2 soak modes. I say 2 soak modes. Like there is a third soak mode. I guess technically Thunder 2.5. But there is a third soak mode. But first, have a look at this calc. Don't know why Modest is the default Floatzel, but did I Z-move it? There we go. Floatzel can outspeed Xerneas after a Geomancy in the rain and Oko it with a Hydro Vortex, and that's actually really cool. So that gives me a mode. It's not quite Choice Scarf Kyogre and Ludicolo. It's Specs Kyogre as well, but if I lead Floatzel Kyogre, I can go for Soak Thunders. I can go for just the big nuke Waterium, which is one of the things that Ludicolo does. It doesn't have the fake out stuff, but like that gives me a mode. I can lead with Floatzel and Koko or Kartana and just go for Soak stuff. But one of the big things that I had a problem was putting me off using this team initially. Like when the Moon Series started to happen, I was testing Kyogre Lunala, and then it like almost all of the matches against opposing Lunalas was just turn 1 speed tie, who wins it, there we go, that's the winner. So I wanted some way to have a good match, like to try and avoid just speed tie turn 1, who wins. Floatzel can do this. Floatzel helps with Lunala, because if we have a look at this, this is what convinced me to consider like Floatzel like actually properly. If I leave Floatzel Lunala, and I soak my own Lunala, and we have a look at the Menacing Moonwave's Maelstroms now. Look how much damage this now does, because I still got Shadow Shield and stuff. I'm now neutral against this Menacing Moonwave's Maelstrom. Look how much that does. That doesn't even do half. And I've lost stab on my Lunala, and that still OKOs them through Shadow Shield. Like this is silly. This takes away the speed ties. Even if if I soak myself, win the speed tie, wonderful. I've KO'd their Lunala with no drawback. But if I lose the speed tie, I still have my Lunala, and I still KO their Lunala. So, like I really want to pull that off, because that theory is just so wonderful. Like to just soak my own Lunala, and I want this to work, because this feels like there's like 3 different modes with this Floatzel, and they're good modes as well. Like the Z Aquatail in the rain is strong. It can Oko a Xerneas. It can outspeed an Oko a Xerneas in the rain. Like if you see some of the calcs, I'll just show you some just general stuff with this Tapu Koko. Like it's really strong. I've shown you the Amoonguss, but just against an Incineroar in general. Wild Charge. Yeah, here. -1, 2 shots. That means that if I would probably just Aquatail it, but that can miss. If I don't want to use my Waterium and I don't want to miss. Look at this. -1, just bopped. Fire type. When I'm at neutral, look how much damage this does. Like 80 to 97. That's a lot. That just means any chip, like even probably a Moongeist Beam chip could. Let's just see. I actually want to know that. I need to do what, 18? Yeah, rolls, but can do it. But yeah, like that's super strong. If I go for like Xerneas, I probably should have kept Tapu Koko, because I have to put this in again. I'll put Mix because it should have, yeah, it comes up with Wild Charge already. Naughty is acceptable. Gee, look at that damage against the Xerneas. That's so much. And then if it's soaked, just blown up. A -1 if I'm soaked. No, if they're soaked. If I soak them and Coco is at -1, that's still a KO. Like, it should be wonderful. It really should be wonderful, because there's so many modes. It's not just like a Philemon. It works so well with Coco. It works so well with Kartana. It works so well with Kyogre. It works well with Lunala. It solves the speed tie issue. One thing I thought of though is if they lead Smeargle, Smeargle Lunala, then that's a bit annoying, because then they can fake out Floatzel, and then we have speed ties. They can follow me, and that follow me's away the soak, so then I would have to match Tailwind. So if I leave Floatzel Lunala into Smeargle, Lunala, that's one of the main reasons why I've got Ice Wind on here. Because in that situation I would need to Icy Wind, and try and win the speed tie that way, because I can't afford to go for a Z-Moongeist Beam into a potential follow me from Smeargle. So I'd have to win the speed tie and get the Icy Wind off, and then I can go for Water Spouts with Kyogre, I guess, if they got White Guard. But no, because the players taunt Icy Wind, and if they fake out, then I guess that, yeah, if they follow me, then they're taunted, so they can't White Guard. But if they fake out, it could be annoying. But like, it just seems so lovely. But like, these are the two ideas I have at the moment. I'm pretty confident I'm bringing one of these teams to Cannes, and like, I've got a week, so I need to work it out soon. Like, these may not be the very final versions, because I've said that Latias and Superior are up for change. But I think if I was bringing this team, it would be this 6, because of the Floatzel. Like, the Floatzel theory is wonderful. But I've rambled on for almost half an hour now. I'm going to cut this episode here for now, because I've explained about these two teams, and these would be the two teams I'd be considering now. There's a bit of a gap between just testing Mewtwo, testing Zygarde, but I was doing some university stuff. Like, I've got my dissertation project going now, so a lot of the things I was just thinking, and then I came up with the Excadrill idea and the Floatzel idea. So I'll be doing some practice games in future episodes. Whether that's laddering, although the problem with laddering is if I'm using this team, it's not so bad, but if I'm using this team, it's just obviously me. Because like, people worked out that even before I went to the regional, that this team, when I was on the top of the Sun ladder, people had worked out it was me. So then they just see, like, even when I was testing something over Superior and I only had Salazzle XY, people had worked out it was me, because it was like, they associate Salazzle with me now. Like, they definitely associate Superior. I don't think they should associate Salazzle with me as such. Like, if there was just like 3 standard mons, like say it was like Finny, Kartana, Amoonguss, and Salazzle over Incineroar, like, that shouldn't obviously be me. I didn't use that on the ladder, but I think I have Ludicolo, I think I had it over Superior at one point. And that's one of the things that Superior could change to as well, I guess. But like, Salazzle shouldn't obviously be me. Superior is kind of obviously me, but I would say that Superior is like my mon now, more than Cottony. Because I've been using, I use Cottony in one tournament, I've been using Superior in so many tournaments now. And I'm the only one that seems to have any kind of success with it. So I would say that Superior is my mon now. So if you see a Superior on the ladder, you're just going to assume it's me now, which is one of the main problems with practicing, at least with this team on the ladder. Like, I have done practice on the ladder, and I think I'm, like, this ult's in the 1600s as well now, because I changed to a different ult. So I guess most of my practice will be practice games instead now. So yeah, and I'm still just rambling on, so I'll just stop the episode here and do some battles in future episodes. Thanks for watching.